Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's up? What's up? Let's rock and roll. Let's talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA finally broke, regardless of what some might say on Twitter or X. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I might call it X soon. Starting to feel normal. The bubble continues to grow. That's what I keep seeing on X at least. If you call this a bubble, you probably just don't know what a bubble really is. But let's talk about the earnings. Because the earnings, there was actually a pretty big announcement. And going into this, I'll talk about my play and everything as far as what happened on earnings. Just do the numbers real quick. Looks like there was a surprise as far as the so reported 6.12, estimated 5.60. That's a 52-cent earnings per share. As far as the revenue goes, looks like 26 billion, estimated 24 billion. Man, you don't say. Okay, so what I talked about before was options buyers probably going to get screwed, and it looks like I was right. Uh, Options were expensive for it, so let's bring up the after hours so you guys can see at least see. We can call it an explosive move. We had a decent day. We went right to this magic line that we drew on Sunday, and pulled back. Now we actually had this range that we were in for quite a bit. Now we broke down, came right back up, and I thought we were just going to chop around. Still, all the sellers were here. Oops. Give me 1 second. Let me get that out of here. All right. So, for instance, a 1,000 strike contract for this Friday. When I checked earlier, was like $2,000, $20, right? So you needed that to 1,020 just to break even. Tomorrow morning, probably get bent. Hate to say it, sorry. For anybody that bought calls and you just didn't understand what was going on, they had a lot of this priced in already. So the amount you paid for, even though it went up, you'll be down tomorrow. The only way, if you bought maybe like a 940, a 945, they're around 4K, you would be at break even. So you'd have a couple days worth of theta left in there. You'll be up slightly. That's it. Okay, so their big announcement, real quick, while we're at all-time highs. So they announced a stock split, a 10-to-1 stock split that will be effective June 7th. Their anyway, the dividend will be paid June 11th. Someone shared in my chat. I want to say I think it was Steve. It was Steve. Yes. Shout out to you. He says the stock split will likely fuel speculation. NVIDIA could be added to the price-weighted Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Grandpa Dow. The NVIDIA's finally been around to join the Dow. Now, as Cody says in the chat, you guys know me now as Dividend Don. That is who I am now. Okay. I am a dividend investor. I talk about passive income all the time. My top three are Meta, NVIDIA, and Google, Amazon. I'm just a dividend guy, They must want the Dow to 100K. Boss Don CEO says, I love that name. In all fairness, guys, I actually closed down my dividend account and put it all into AI stuff. Coincidentally, right as I did that, I was destined to have dividends because they all announced they're going to pay a dividend. NVIDIA has for a while, but all the other ones, we're just dividend stocks now. All right, so options buyers, you got screwed. Let's see, probably up big if you bought a spread instead, especially if it was out of the money. Okay, yes, as far as out of the money goes, if you took a play that was like theta and vega neutral, yes. So what I had talked about was being bullish, and I specifically said in my group, like he's talking about buying a spread, a 945, 950, or like a 950, 960 spread, a $10 spread. And if you wanted to just spend $4,000, buy a few of those. Okay, you could have bought 8 of them. 1,000, a $10 wide spread in out, so right at the money. At that point, yeah, you would have doubled your money. And that's because all it needs to be is if you bought that play, if you bought the 950 to 960, you probably would have spent $500, maybe just shy. And then your max gain would be 1,000, so you would get 500 plus whatever it is. If you bought out of the money, it would have been a tad bit cheaper. Then it needs to hold above that. And NVIDIA didn't really push up that much. It's a $950 ticker, and it pushed up $50. So not to downplay that, let's see if the split news drives anything. It means literally nothing. It just, what they're trying to say is we want poor people to buy it. And people will say $1,000 is too expensive. So they'll wait for it to be $100 and they'll think, hey, I can buy it again. And they'll proceed to buy 10 shares, still having $1,000 in NVIDIA. But that being said, that's how a split works, guys. It means literally nothing other than poor people can buy it. But there is a lot of hype. There's a lot of people that buy it up and then sell at the split. Uh, Quite frankly, for all those new buyers that can come in, I can't press this enough. Absolutely silly, but it happens, right? It's a thing that happens. It's just what it does. But like Robinhood, if you, let's say it's, so NVIDIA right now is $1,006. You only have $500. You can actually just go out and buy $500 worth of NVIDIA. It doesn't even matter how many shares you have. Those same people that say NVIDIA is too expensive and can't buy a fractional share have a 1,000th of a Bitcoin. They have no problem buying a fraction of that. Anyway, we'll see if there's any spike chains. I'm poor in some accounts. This is exciting news because, as some people have already asked, yes, this will go in the growth account. I was debating on Chipotle as well. Just for Chipotle's growth, it just seems so consistent, but NVIDIA for sure. Another thing I called out before, and I don't mean to just toot my own horn, but just in case you're new here, I'm right more than I am wrong. It's not even a cocky statement. I did say this earnings would be green. And then I also said next earnings will be red. Their year-over-year growth. This was their last earnings where their previous bar was just the floor. You know, it wasn't hard to beat. Next earnings, they'll be going up against the first blowout earnings. So unless AI really upticks or anything like that, I think the next earnings will be red. So you got about 90 days before it pulls back. That being said, I'm going to start buying this in the growth account June 7th, around there. I don't know. We're not going to go into margin. The poor person approves of a split. I'm glad you guys liked the joke. It didn't just, some people get offended. The growth account is poor. We're going to buy some shares soon. I have 0 NVIDIA is what it is. The split does mean people with 10 shares will be able to sell covered calls. Yes, and unlike Google, this one is liquid. So this one, I'm actually pretty excited to run the wheel strategy on this quite a bit more, sell quite a few more contracts. It's gonna be rocking. Let's talk about my play, because on this I made $700. Too much I made on this move. Chill out on Google. Well, Google options suck compared to Amazon, Tesla, NVIDIA, and you know it. You can't even fight it. Okay, so what I had told my group last night, here's what I'm going to do. I had sold the 900 strike put. Now, what I did was I sold a bearish or a bullish put spread. So I sold the puts. So I made money if it goes up. That's not how I was going to play it. I sold the 900 put expecting to take shares at 900. So as far as NVIDIA goes, it's the one I've added the least onto in my investment account. So my average was way down here in the hundreds. And I kept waiting for this $500 mark. I was like, it'll pull back. I'll buy it then. And it started to break up. So I started to add on to it. So, now I'm in the 300s. And I was going to just grab another 100 shares at 900. So I sold the 900 strike put. It was $2,000 is what I collected on that. And what I did on top of that was I bought the 875 put. Now that one cost me $1,300. So I collected $2,000. I paid $1,300. All in all, I'm in a $25 spread. Now I got paid $700 to be in this. Think of money out versus money in. I have $700 in my account, which right now looks like I'll just get to keep all of that. What I was going to do, though, if we surprise to the downside, because it's an AI bubble and that guy on Twitter was right. Anyway, if we surprise to the downside, I was actually going to lock in profits on that put that I bought, take that to buy the shares, and just take assignment on the 900. That was the whole plan, was to not just take the spread as is. I wasn't just going to lose, would it be $1,800? Wasn't feeling that. So that's what I did. Alex says peanuts. It really is for NVIDIA. I'm putting up 90 grand to make 700. Amazing. Before we get on with the regular stream that we normally do, so I'll break down the dollar, the Russell, the Nasdaq, the S&P. There was another play that I took today that we talked about last night, just a simple zone play. Before we get into all that, as far as NVIDIA goes, there will be another video coming out. I'm going to do it with Mike. It'll be on Don Fron Show. Right now, I'm simulcasting on Power Zone Trading, Don Fron Show, Don Fron Trading, and my X account. So Don Fron Trading is where I'm just going to put all the stock stuff. Don Fron Show is AI stuff. NVIDIA is the number one AI play. Until Optimus comes out and says that's wrong. ROI doesn't seem great on that play. It's not. But do you have 90K, and how much did you make today? 90 grand, and I made $700 in 2 days. Yeah, it still sucks. Anyway, pumped for this. Got another video coming out. So that is the distinction as far as like the YouTube channels go. So make sure you're doing that. The YouTube chat I have up that I read during these streams right now is Don Fron Trading. I just felt, for anyone that's here, there's just too much going on AI news wise. I'm trying to research as much as I can, but everything I look up, 15 more things come out. So that's why I think people need to know. People are acting like ostriches with their heads in the sand. So Don Fron Show is now like AI investing, AI news, AI everything. So if you're just absolutely bored with that, you can just do the stock stuff. All right. Before we get on with it, the next play that I took today, that's still up. So there was a zone play. This got called out last night in the group. So this one, not usually my wheelhouse. I don't usually buy things this cheap. There's just, I buy better things. They're priced that way for a reason, and it's not to say people don't make money on cheap stocks. It's just there's a reason why I'm in Tesla, Meta, NVIDIA, to make $700. Anyway, this one right here, QuantumScape. We just had this zone right here. This is a very clean one. So it hit this zone. It got called out, so I liked it, so I bought it. Now my entry is 565. It's at 580. It did spike up to $6 today. Decent play. I did have my stop in the green. I was just going to do this. My stop was at 585 when it got up here to the 6 mark, but I did delete that, so I did not lock it in. I am still in this. I just think we're going a little bit higher. As long as we're holding down here, I think we're good. It's a smaller play. I think getting above this 640 mark will contend with 7. Who knows? Hopefully we just full send. We got 780, but the big zone will be the 850 mark and then 10. So we can just double our money, get 100%. I'll make sure I post it on Instagram for you guys and talk about the win. It's just a popular one that just pumps that high. So thought it was a decent one. Wanted to bring it to your attention. I would put this in the crap stock pile for now. Just for its sheer price. This is what you call a solid. If you guys ever hear me talk about the middle finger pattern, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is a middle finger pattern. That's what happened to your account if you held on to it. But since I got it cheap, I figured why not? I don't have any options sold on it or anything like that. So full send. Let's see. Hate to hang on. I have Ford at 12. It's doing nothing. Cody says, hate to break it to you, Steve, but Ford has been doing nothing ever since before you were born. That's the point. Yes, Ford, as long as it continues to do nothing, is amazing. All right. As far as the dollar goes, I did add on to my short position on the dollar yesterday. It's just down. I didn't do anything with it. I am short the US dollar, Japanese yen. At these levels, it's just hard not to. I don't like this particularly. I was short. It dropped down, tagged out, got back in, added on, and it's a little bit down right now. But overall, the US dollar, Japanese yen, just problematic at these levels. This right here, by the way, last time we were actually comfortably above this, 1987. Okay. So my whole life almost, we've been below this thing. Other than that little spike over here in the 90s. So anyway, I'm short. I need the dollar to sell off. I need the yen to come in strong. Stop jacking around. This is still, I wholeheartedly believe this is going to be a big play. You guys can fight me to the death, agree or disagree. Those are your three options. Let's see. Clover had that pattern. The middle finger pattern. Yeah, it's a popular one. Bitcoin. There was a new bill that passed. Yay. Now everyone's clearly excited, so excited that they're selling it. Good job. Right now, we're just playing the back and forth game. I wouldn't be too worried about it until it breaks this 67,000 mark. Until then, let's hang out. Uh, actually, I kind of think we're gearing up for actually the next move up in Bitcoin to all-time highs. Let's see. Steve says it's near all-time highs, I think. Which one? Um, how low can it go? Oh, the yen. How low can it go? Oh, it can go pretty low. S&P. What an annoying day today, by the way. I know I was in the NASDAQ today, but man. Hang on, let's go back. So we had some news, right? Some letters. They came out. Sold off, came up. The news went back and forth, kind of grinding our way back up. Not quite all-time highs, but as of now, just looks like that was all the dip you're going to get. So for now, continue that grind up. As far as the expected move, here we are, just like we were in Sunday. Now, as far as the NASDAQ goes, this is what's annoying, is I was short this. Now, nailed the entry. It was great. Went short the NASDAQ contracts like I said I would last night. Sold off. However, I wasn't paying attention, did not have my stop. Like, as it came down here, my stop was still up here. So, yeah, it tagged out later. Still made a decent chunk of money. Could have almost doubled. Had I just, picture perfect, ran it right to the peak. A little annoying there, but now we're rocking all-time highs here in just a little bit. By morning, we will be. Equities just won't break down. Buy every dip. I know there's a lot of bears out there. I was bearish. What was it, last week or the week before? Ask me how it went. I could tell you. I would have more money had I been in a coma and paid for the hospital stay. Yeah. Still wasn't good. Right now, election year, it kind of just looks like we're just back on that grind up. That's that. As far as, I will say, there's some interesting stuff that's happened. Now, there's the real world, then there's the stock world. And a lot of people get those confused. They think they're the same thing, but they're not. I will say real world, I'm starting to do a little bit more research as far as like recession goes. It doesn't change up how I trade or anything. Stocks will just do what stocks do. But I think real world people will start to feel it. And that does change how people are emotionally, which can affect trading and investing. So I don't know if I'll have any videos coming out about that, but there was some interesting stuff that happened today. So, I don't know. How you guys feeling? You guys feeling like you're just less rich, more poor every day? Is it, anybody else feel like that or what? Bought gold today on the dip. What do you think gold will do? Gold just keeps going up. And I don't know if that's a red flag. I don't know what that is. Let's finish up these futures real quick. Qs still actually have plenty of room. Actually, I don't know why I keep saying actually. We broke that to the downside, continued south. This might be your dip buy opportunity for the Russell. I would take the long play here. Breaking that zone, I'd have to be out of it. Still plenty of room both to the up and downside. Stuff costs more, but accounts are looking good, so not sure what to think. Is it everyone's account though? So I warning. So I do a lot of real estate too, and I had other bigger agents call me today. Big agents, in my area. Now, there's a lot of ego involved in real estate. and you don't typically call another agent and say, "What's going on? What's your opinion?" You have your friends and everything. I've never talked to these agents before. I know who they are just for sheer volume, and they called me today asking, "What's up?" which I thought was very odd. And they had some pretty popular listings, 0 showings. 2 agents did this, not even connected. I don't know if these guys even know each other. So I thought the timing of that was very weird, and real estate slowed down very quickly. So that kind of got the wheels turning. Just forewarning is that why are we so chill right now? Is there just an excessive amount of bunker down for a little bit? Is it just I don't want to sell my 3% house and pay 7%, and they're just hanging on? There's no need to move. It's like they don't need to get the new iPhone. Uh, Phoenix real estate is strong. Rental's strong as well. Okay. Texas is slowing. Trillions printed, planned currency, and middle class destruction. I'm 100% on board with that. Commodities and crypto. Let's go. Until AI takes it over, I agree. Anyway, that's what got the wheels turning. So if you have any opinion on that, let me know in the comments down below. It's the reason why I don't do real estate YouTube videos like some of these other YouTubers. I just don't think you can do that. Like I know about my area, and then you guys just told me your area is strong. You're another one slowing down. I just couldn't confidently speak to the United States about real estate, let alone someone from another country. So that's why I don't. But if you have an opinion, let's do this. In fact, what do you say we just rock and roll? How many likes do we have? Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it right now. I'm gonna make the executive decision. We're doing this. Let's see. I hope Don Francho did some stretches before that, before all that options gymnastics. I did. I was limber. I was ready to go. We have 10 likes. You better get that in gear. We're gonna jump onto the mentorship stream right now, which means you guys better get the thumbs up going. Make sure you're subscribed. Yeah, do that, or your stocks are gonna go down tomorrow, unless you're bearish. Then your positions all gonna be red tomorrow. Just saying. If you want that good karma, make sure you hit the like button. Merlin and Don is who I like to listen to. No bull. Yeah, Merlin's a good guy. I want to see. We're going to go live again. Let's see what his take is on NVDA. Mentorship in a Don Fron minute. We're doing mentorship right now. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Oh, it's there. Target up or down more? Yes. Oh my gosh. So earnings came out and just ripped it zone to zone. I mean, no, what happened was there was a surprise miss. They beat on one, they missed on the other, and that miss was so bad it was 3 cents. A whole 3 cents. Ha! Good thing they're lucky to still be listed. Anyway, sold off down to that weird magic yellow box someone drew. If only you had the foresight to know that. Well, Lori, I see this is a dividend ticker. You are talking to Dividend Don. You're in the right place. Ooh, actually, if I was just going to let Jesus take the wheel and let fate decide, I would sell the 140 puts. If I wanted to maybe not get assigned, let's see what the 18 deltas are. Where are the 140 smack dab. When did that sell off? 143. Okay. I would sell the 140s on this. Now, I say that because I'm going to delete everything else and show you guys what I was eyeballing right there. We'll leave that up actually. All right. So looking at this, it got the Budweiser treatment, right? If we took that off, my head's in the way. We're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Nothing but Winnie the Pooh and Sellers. All right, so there's that line in the sand right there. Let's just do it traditional supply and demand style. Distal line. There's all your sellers. No one held onto a single share. But if we just make this a tad bit brighter, let me sell you guys on a position. If we just take off this, if you want to call it an overreaction, not to just delete stuff and pretend it didn't exist. We gapped right back up, came right back into it. Very much range bounce. There's a lot of people that liked it here. There's a lot of people that like to sell it right here. So that's why I would sell the 140s on this. And then if it sells back off, I'll have shares. If I don't, I get free internet money. And I would collect $30. Let's go to next week. Next week, Monday, the stock market is closed. You would collect. So we got a $77 on that. This thing has next to no volume. The expected move is $4. So that puts you right at the expected move. I have a 150 put for Friday. Okay. Ooh. So you'll take assignment. So next you would sell the 150 call. Expected move is $4. Yeah, honestly, I would sell the 150. I would let assignment happen, and then on Tuesday, sell the 150s. If not, go to the next week. You probably get a little bit more. Still the 150s. You got an extra week. You get $67. It's about the same. Yeah, I would just sell the 150s. And if we start to creep up to that, after that, I would sell the 155s. Unless you don't want assignment. How much do you get for rolling on that? Looks like you would collect about $10 if you rolled that. Um, 61, half a dozen. I think I would. I don't think I would roll. Unless the premium offered up a little bit more, I don't think I would roll. NVDA, you have the 1,030 covered calls for this Friday. I do not want to have the stock taken away. Ideas? Ooh, you're pushing it. 1,030. I would lock it in tomorrow, Lisa. Sorry, this is not financial advice. In a hypothetical world, if I had the 1,030 covered calls tomorrow morning, I would wake up. The bell would ring. Vega would absolutely decimate that options contract. And even if it's at 1,000, if we push up $25 overnight in pre-market, that options contract is still down, and I would still lock in my profits and call it a day. I don't think I would roll it. I think I would lock in profits, and let's see where this split news takes us. Let's see if anybody starts trying to buy it up soon. So I would let the dust settle, see where we're at, and then maybe check things out Tuesday. That's an easy one. That'll be a good one. What are you up right now? $1,200. What'd you collect for that? You collected a little bit more. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a good one. Talk about free internet money. You're going to make more than I did. All right. While everyone is here, let me know what city you're in. I want to see who's paying attention. All right. Hang on. I thought I saw something. Oh, one of the fake me accounts switched to somebody else. That's funny. Technician, you said something, right? Was that a DM? I'm not making that up, am I? You want me to say that on here or no? Dox or no doxing? Yeah. Where do you live? What's your bank account looking like? There's this just recession thing. I was just curious if I could see what's up. Yuba, Cali, and New York. We got the full stretch. NVDA, about 3 more shares on that 10-1 split news. Now at 5. Plan on buying another 5 on margin. Cody. I think I would pick one. You know which one I'm talking about. There's another one that's good that you have. I think I would pick between the two. And I think actually just because you bought that one on margin doesn't mean you have to sell that one. Hang on a second. Let's just check them out. That'd be tough to do that one. Picking between them is very hard. Yeah, but look where you're at on this one. Just gonna say this because it's YouTube. You nailed the bottom. I don't know who gave you that idea, but you bought a bunch, right? And then you've been selling calls, just absolutely killing it, and it's amazing. And it's up. We're at the no place to go but down. Just kidding. Amazon's already down. So which one would be easier just to lock in right now? And then I would use that. I would free up something because I'm telling you right now, like Dave Ramsey says, sometimes life just kicks you in the nuts, and I feel like you go just full port into margin. That's what's going to happen. You're single handedly going to tank this market, and margin's going to get to know you very well. You'll be on a name to name basis, maybe even be calling her Marge by the end of the week. You just don't want that. I bought back my 177.50 for profit to get out of that mess. Okay. Later sold the 180 for this week. Okay, for 30. That's on Google. Amazon, you did nothing. Not much to do on Amazon. I bought back my 185 for a $30 loss on Tesla. Oh, that sucks. Cody. We had this conversation. I said, be patient. Wait. See what it does. I did say it pulled back into that zone, which is what it did. It took all day. All right. Kept going down, but I wanted out. I still think that was the right move. Because you don't know. So a $30 loss on that, nothing. Chump change. That's literal chump change for what that could have been had it bounced a lot sooner. This is kind of one of those things where looking back is just toxic. For anybody that does that, you look back just to go over the trade to see how things were, but jumping down that rabbit hole is going to screw you as a trader because you're going to think, man, I should have done this, I should have done that. Just remember, you can make the best decision you can at the time you make it. That's all you can do. So when you see something tagged you out and ran, you can ask yourself general questions of, is this a pattern? Because maybe you have an argument there. Or did the market just suck? Did the timing just suck? Sometimes it does. Unfortunately, you have to have a little bit of that luck on your side, or you just can't do it. I don't know. I wouldn't worry about that. I think that was easy. Oh, you were down 500 at one point, so a $30 loss doesn't bother you too much? Yeah. Hoping for a pop to sell a new call. I would wait for the pop first. I really would. You'll drive yourself crazy. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. No way to look at trading. Yeah, and you really will drive yourself crazy. More importantly, you'll think, had I bag held that, I would have won. And then the next one you're going to bag hold, it's going to look like Peloton, right? It is going to be nasty. It's going to just keep going down. You think you're poor now? Just wait. Futures, I absolutely killed it today. Hit max profit on Top Step for the day. I believe I'm going to pass the challenge this week. Nice job. My new strategy is perfect for me and really working out. Are you using the blue dots that we talked about? Everyone on YouTube, this is proprietary. I can't go into too much detail. Sorry. It is just if you're in the mentorship, you'd understand. Trading is a game of shoulda. I don't know. Tesla could have been right back up off of FOMC or NVDA. Yeah, I don't think NVIDIA was going to move Tesla regardless. They've been using Tesla's been using NVIDIA chips forever now. And you would think they would move a little bit closer together, but they really just don't. That's really awesome to see that, especially the growth in there. The fact that, let me just put it this way, from where you were to where you are now in futures, that is absolutely amazing. Ta-da! It looks like I was gonna have some shares of this, but the market didn't want me to have that. So Elf had earnings as well. Surprise! Their words, not mine. 19 cents beat and a 28.57 million beat. So on that earnings reaction, it went from yellow zone. This is a yellow zone. I just don't have it filled in. Let me just not confuse people. Every time earnings does this, someone's like, well, what's the blank zone mean? It means whole account. I don't know why you weren't there. I do have a sold put on this. I collected $160. Looks like tomorrow that'll also be up a lot. Dropped off, bounced off at that zone. So right now, if Elf gets above this 160 price, it's actually one I think I might buy for a bit. I'm not going to be as bold and say this is meta at 90 like I did Tesla, but this could be a decent bottom for Elf for a while. If it breaks above this 170, 171 mark, it might be my trading count for a little bit. I'll trail it on the daily. Do you do any day trading? Of course. I do everything. But so here's the thing. I buy when it makes sense and I sell when it makes sense. Sometimes it's in 30 minutes, sometimes it's in 30 days. It really depends on the plan and kind of what I'm thinking. I don't stare. I don't stare at charts. I set alerts, and when the alert goes off, I buy it. There's been plenty of streams where, as we're streaming live, the alert goes off, and I just click buy. So every night I plan my trades the day before. For instance, last night we talked about this trade right here. It was just in the zone. So this morning I bought it. It's up, still in it. Hopefully it continues. So just examples like that. And once I'm in it, I trail it. So there's times I think I'm going to take a quick scalp, and then it just destroys it. I just trail things 2 candles back. It's a manual trail. I don't do percentages or anything like that. I just keep it 2 candles back. And once that candle closes, I scoot the next one up. And I've had something I think I'll be in an hour. I'm on the 15-minute time frame. Absolutely send it, and I'll be in it for a week. And it's just a home run. I don't chase home runs, but they happen. And naturally, just being in the stock market, everyone watching this will eventually have a home run. It's just the numbers of things. Unless you go chasing home runs and you don't have an account by the time you would be in one, then sucks to suck. candles on a 15-minute time frame. If I started off on a 15-minute time frame, yeah. So 15-minute time frame. If I'm day trading, that's where I'm at. 2 candles back. Once I've been in a couple hours, I'm on the hourly. Well, as soon as I can fit the 2 candle theory back on a higher time frame, it goes to that higher time frame. And that's how I'll be in things longer as it pushes up, and I'm on the gain train. It gets a little bit more relaxed, and I've mentioned this. It's like babysitting, right? When you just get into that trade, that baby's 15 days old. Right? You got to watch it. Well, let's just say a year and 15 days. The baby's walking around. You got to make sure it doesn't stick a fork in the outlet. Uh, once it's been in there a while, you can let it go. It's like babysitting an 18-year-old. They know they know not to touch the stove. Right? That's all. Just hang out. The worst they do is they eat a hot pocket or pizza roll fresh out of the microwave. A little bit of a burn. And then you're like, all right, now we're on to the next one. I got to adopt another kid now. Um, all right, so let's go back. He says he'll watch the recording. Look for base hits and home runs sometimes happen. Yeah. I will load the bases and put my next average batter up there every time. Yeah, I gotta say, I like that. When I see price action like this, I'll have to go back to Tesla to show you guys. But that tells me when we hit this general area and people just buy it up, and I don't care what the excuse is. When I see just the absolute line in the sand, I'm buying, and it's been selling off for a while, but now all of a sudden buyers just want to show up. You can chalk it to earnings, whatever, some 3-letter news that came out. Powell said something, a Fed said something else, someone tweeted something. Don't care. When it looks like this is why I called the bottom on Tesla. Tesla's been absolutely just beat down, sells off. And then Elon's like, we're going to have an announcement in August. And then what, everyone just loved that announcement and just bought it up. I think at some point things get so cheap, and I haven't said this in a while. I've said it to my group a lot. A Corvette in the wintertime. It's a crappy car to have in the snow, but you make that thing cheap enough, you'll have a line at the dealership. And eventually, I think that's just what Tesla got to. And they bought it up real quick, and then it just held. So when Meta was $90, I tried to tell everybody, I'm buying a lot. I bought a lot of shares, I bought a lot of leaps, made a killing. It's just shy of $500 now. And I said, over here, this is Meta at $90. So far, I've been right. I just keep making money. That being said, to go over my Tesla plan real quick, just so everybody does know, if you've been watching me for a while, I've been selling the 160 strike puts, and I want to get 300 more shares. So I've been selling them every Friday, and I let them run out. I do not close them, even for $1. Typically, if the options contract has a couple dollars left, $5, I'm just going to buy it to close. I'm letting these things run out just in case there's that last second sell off on Friday, and I get my shares. I then switched to 170s, so I have all 170s for the next 3 Fridays. If we actually hold above this zone, yeah, I've made a bunch of money on these, by the way. If we hold above this zone, as they expire, I will just market buy the 100 shares. I will have 300 shares soon in Tesla. Your granddaughter turned 18 today. Not the one, Springfield? The one in Missouri or California? So glad you took that meta play. Yeah, me too. Did you tell me to take it, or why? Your wording is like kind of funny. Did you take it? Let's see. Oh, we are actually all done. I only take base hits, but I put the bases at the outfield wall. Oh, okay. So you did not. I just watched it go and go and go. It did. Meta's been my number one position for a while. Sorry, people will make comments like that. Like there'll be a YouTube stream from like a million years ago, and someone's like, "Remember that one time I told you to whole account something?" I'm like, no, but and then they say that. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, Meta's been great. It was not great watching it go to 90 because, like I said, Meta's been my number one position for a while. So that was, fun. You ever thought, man, I've got a few properties now. I got a couple houses, and then your stocks go down. You're like, I could probably sleep in a car. Should I buy one cash? What kind of, you start picking out which car you would feel better to sleep in. Tell her I said happy birthday, Lori. Anything else we need to go over? Don is the only one I know that managed to make a ton of free internet money when he has no internet. That's why I was not live yesterday. Yes, it should be fixed now. All right, real quick, hit me up with some questions real fast. There's 100 of you total in all, so I don't know if you're on Power Zone Trading, Don Fron Show, Don Fron Trading, or the X account. Whatever it is on, yeah, hit the thumbs up, the share, whatever it is. Make sure you do it. And then what do we got? 45 minutes. Let's go 50 minutes. Give me 5 minutes of your questions. Hard to sleep in a smart car. Smart cars are very weird. I worked on one time, and it made me like nauseous sitting in there. And if you guys never sat in a smart car, there was a lot of like psychology involved in making that, so it feels big on the inside. For instance, the seats never sit next to each other; they're always off a bit, so you're never actually right next to the person. Man, that back glass is right here. That is the person tailgating you 3 inches from you. Like if your hair staying up on the back of your neck, you're touching the guy behind you. The speedometer's like this big. I get it. It just wants to let you know when you're speeding. Am I still bullish oil? Yep. Like a fishbowl feeling. It feels more dangerous than a motorcycle. I don't care what they say about the cab and how you can put a car on top. Like, that's cool. Can it put a semi on top going 80 miles an hour? Like, I feel like I would rather be on a motorcycle. At least I'm a little bit free. I could slide this thing out. It's weird. Palantir. I'm surprised we made it this long without a Palantir question. I have not bought more yet. I debate. I want to see if we're going to break this thing down and get down to this 19 mark. 19 is where I really want to buy more Palantir. Now I don't mind, so let's say I'm going to buy another 10,000 shares. I could buy it at 21.35. I don't mind buying it at 22.35 either, because it finally broke up. I would rather risk buying it at 22.35 and possibly get it at 19. And remember, guys, because people get really hung up on this entry stuff, and don't get me wrong, it's important, but it's not. It's kind of like Bitcoin. It's not where you buy it that matters as much as where you realistically think it's going to go. Because if I think Palantir is going to 50, does it matter that I bought it at 21 or 22? No, of course not. Yeah, I made an extra $1. I would not care about that. It'd be a whole lot cooler to risk that $1 and possibly get it at 19. Now we're talking. That's a chunk of change. But for now, I'm kind of watching this zone to see if it ultimately holds. Do we break above? Do we break out? As soon as we got below, we got right back in this thing, and then just kind of hanging out. Let's see. As far as the growth count goes, I haven't bought back the contract. We'll probably do that on Friday. Anybody following on like the Patreon or anything like that, you'll get an announcement probably Friday. We will roll that. Hang on. NFLX. All right, so I got to go to the daily. She says, "How do you like that bullish harami on the daily Netflix chart? It is perfect. It is like the sunshine of my life." I still know what's going on with Netflix. There is a stream wars, is what someone was saying. Full send. Apparently they win, or Netflix has the nukes. They're gonna win. Because to all the other streamers, this one's doing it. This one's making people money. Which I need to I need to go back. I would have a lot more money. So Netflix was down right here. And I got a shout out to a guy, his name's Joe. I was like, I'm going to buy more at 150. It's going to 150. And he's like, I'm buying it right here. This thing, I can't believe it's this cheap. I'm like, just chill. It's going to 150. Anyway, he bought a bunch. This his favorite stock. And anyway, I did not get I did not get my 150 fill, and he's rich. Um, let's see. I think I'd rather try bench pressing one than using it for transportation. A smart car. You probably could if you just didn't know how to park. You could just kind of wing it and then lift that thing up and just move it into place. A bearish Harami on Netflix. Apple, thanks. You're welcome. Rejecting this right now. Man, that's a. I don't know. This is gonna be a tough zone to break for Apple. And then if it does, what? It's not the biggest hype mover. This is a pretty chill stock. If it breaks this zone, do we kind of continue this grind up? Like, what kind of attention do we have here? Are we going to go back to this? My head's in the way. Are we going to go back to like this level of grinding, like when Warren Buffett liked it, or do we? How much time are we going to take off here? Right? I wouldn't. I'm not short it. If anybody really hated Apple and wanted to short it, today was your short entry at the open. That would have just been a type 1 at that zone, and I would say your better case scenario is it goes down to 183. If I bought anywhere on here, my stop loss would be 188.85. There's my 2 candles back, and that's where my stop would be. Unless it goes to the moon, then I'll be on the gain train. I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks. I think the market's going to do well. Yeah, it being election year. I think the last thing they're going to want on top of recession talks and interest rates with an election is the stock market's crashing as well. They want as few spinning plates as possible. You can call that tinfoil hat theory or not. But I think that's why we do well on election years, because we just kind of just have this just grind up. I have a 21 put sold on Palantir for Friday. We'll roll if I can. You should be able to. Yeah, you're right at the money. Would like a green day to sell covered calls. That wouldn't be bad. Yeah. Didn't you say you bought shares at 23.30 on Palantir? Which time? I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, I bought a lot of Palantir. They had the boxing match too. When is the boxing match? I do want to see it just because it's Mike Tyson. I did see a clip of Mike Tyson saying he's just coming to put that kid in the grave. Just Mike Tyson. That's just his talk. I would be terrified to fight Mike Tyson. I don't care if he walks with a cane or not. I feel like that guy, let alone fighting him. I've seen people say Jake Paul could take him in his prime. Get out of here. Mike Tyson would destroy 5 Jake Pauls at once in his prime. He would knock his head off. I'm not a typical Jake Paul hater. He's athletic. I'll give him that, but it's Mike Tyson. Too much experience. Are we still doing Zoom tomorrow night? Yeah, Thursday night, Zoom night. Yeah. All right, we hit our mark. Do me a huge solid. Hit the thumbs up. Do all the cool stuff. Make sure you're subscribed. GameStop. Again, if anyone's doing the whole GameStop thing, I'll have a video tomorrow on that. I sold the 35. Actually, hang on. Before we get out of here, I sold the 34.50 call. That's all. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep my GameStop shares to hopefully have some people. There's a lot of bag holders as far as GameStop goes. There's ways to make money in this. There's ways to just not suck, no offense, and just watch your money evaporate, right? It's not how it should be done. I finally watched the movie Dumb Money. Man, I feel bad for people. You're just I don't want to say hopeless, but it was so easy to bait a bunch of people into a movement. And yeah, a few people got rich. A few. So it really does. It genuinely, and I've done a lot of like reading comments about GameStop, and it's crazy right now. But I will say there's something interesting going on with GameStop, and I really can't put my finger on it, but I'm trying to figure it out. It has these just spikes. There's a lot of pre-market and after hours moves. Now they fade away instantly. We get these spikes right back down. Spikes right back down. As soon as it shoots up, it comes right back down. So who's trying? Are shorts getting out? Is somebody creeping around, just trying to buy up shares nonchalantly off the radar? Without full sending it, because something happened before the Roaring Kitty. Okay, it was already up. Where we at? Okay, so here we are. Now it runs up and then it bases out. Roaring Kitty does its X thing and then it sends it for a week and then right back down. More people are poor. So I don't know. There is something weird. Robinhood is corrupt. Halt buying. How didn't someone go to jail over that? Who is buying during the halt? I haven't heard about that. It was a great movie, and it was amazing to hear people say it was okay losing everything, and they would do it again. It was amazing to hear people say that. Oh, yeah, as far as, the movie when they took away the buy button, I don't know. If you ever jumped in this game thinking the market wasn't, and you can call it manipulation, it's just how the market's played. That's that. And if you had as much money, you could do the same things. It is a free market, but if you don't have a lot of money, you're not playing the same game. It's all the same rules. You can't say they follow a different set of rules. Maybe on the legal side of things, as far as like they get fined, you might go to jail. But as far as market manipulation, buying stuff up like that, same rules. You just don't have enough money. Uh, but imagine if Robinhood took away the sell button, then you'd be in trouble. When you start messing with banks, okay, Melvin Capital, they did go bankrupt. There's billions at play here. If you think nothing's going to happen, they're just going to roll over and take it. No. Remember, this is designed for other institutions. This isn't like retail is just because, well, you got to give somebody a chance, right? But it's like Forex is where banks go to manipulate other banks. You're just nothing. You're a mosquito in an elephant stampede. And then for some reason, a whole bunch of mosquitoes ganged up on one little baby elephant. Yeah, things are going to happen. Uh, Sucks, there's an argument of morals and all that, but from the lyrical genius Lil Wayne, he don't go around fire expecting not to sweat. Okay, remember that. Anyway, there's a lot of things you can still do while bag holding to help get you some money back. Retail is the money that the pros collect. Sometimes. Yeah, retail is such low hanging fruit, it's not even worth it to most of them. They don't even know you exist. Now, in the case of GameStop, they caught them with their pants down. It's not going to happen again. The big boys will always help one another when it comes to us peons. Yeah, and why wouldn't you? The market and morals don't go together. You're right, they don't. Such wise words. um, they really don't, and you can say it's manipulation or cheating or unfair. Now you can complain all you want. You can complain till you're blue in the face. You really can't. It's not going to change anything. You're not going to change anything. You can start your movement, have a petition, you have everybody sign it. Doesn't matter. But if you just know the rules, know that is the set of rules, not what maybe you were led to believe in the beginning. Now you can play the game by the real set of rules, and maybe not do as bad. Big bank take little bank all the time. Yeah, it's kind of like just going to the casino and you think you're going to just raise your bet so much that the other person backs out. The casino will call it every time. They have more money. You don't even have money. You have a literal chip that costs 2.5 cents to make. You just think you're playing with money. The market or the casino already has the money. Yet here I sit in the very market I complain about. Just have to know the rules. Exactly. That's all. All right. I'm gonna wrap it up here. We're right at the hour mark too. Anyway, once again, do all the cool stuff. The thumbs up, the share, and you guys will see me on the next one. Have a good one.